some arms coming up today. It is the Halloween Spooktacular, if you will, arm day. And not only is today scary, it is a scary day because of the amount of candy that I ate. I'm not usually a big candy guy, but I ate a lot of candy tonight. And it is also scary because of the pump that I'm going to get working out arms tonight. So, what's the plan? I think what I'm going to shoot for, first of all, the fuel for tonight is no other than Pink Kalani. But what I was saying before you interrupted me was the plan for tonight is just going to be heavy duty Mike Mincer style arms. Not going to be there for too long. Not going to have a super long set workout time. I think what's gonna happen, I'm gonna go in there, warm up my shoulders, kind of get moving all right, and then we're just gonna jump right in. I've been feeling some tendonitis come up in my arm, which is weird, so I'm gonna see how that limits me. But other than that, I think that's pretty much the goal, is just some arms, you know. I think I was talking to an Olympian who had, just T-bone steaks on top of his arms for triceps. This dude's triceps were huge. And I said, what do you do for triceps? And he said, overhead. And I was like, okay, so some skull crushers, there's some of those in there. We could do some extensions. Those make my elbows feel weird, so I don't know. I like my extensions, just my regular push downs. Some real heavy push downs would be great, I think. And for biceps, biceps are pretty easy anymore. I think some preacher curls are going to do the trick. And we're going to achieve a frightening pump. The end goal is to not be able to touch your shoulders. So when we do the pump check, I want to be able to not grab my shoulders because my biceps are just so freaking pumped. So I think it's going to be preacher curls. I think it's going to be some incline dumbbell seated curls. I think it's going to be some extensions. And I think some regular dumbbell curls, or maybe some bar curls. I don't know. It's going to be something. Whatever that is. Oh, there's a freaking car show in the parking lot. What the heck? Man, don't interfere with the gym day. Do not be very cool. Either way, that's the goal for tonight. So we just hop in there. Let's get it done. Okay, starting out with some lighter dumbbell curls before we move into the real work. Just kind of prime that muscle, stretch it out a little bit now that we're warmed up in the shoulders. Just about 8 reps or so. I believe in principles of intensity. You know, if you're gonna go do a set of 50s, and then you're gonna do that for 10, and then you're gonna go do 60s for 10. What was the point? You know, same thing as I think it's Sam Sulek says that. Why are you gonna do why do the 50s? Just skip to the 60s, make it more intense. That's what I like to do. I prefer to operate by that principle, but I do like to get a little bit warmed up. And unless I'm moving really heavy weight, I like to make sure I get a good twist at the top. Really focus on that supination of the wrist. It's always something good. So, okay. I'm good and warmed up. Let's go do heavy work. Okay, starting out with, I think I'm just gonna go straight to 50s. And then see how I do with that. And then if that is not how I want it, then we'll drop down to 45s, I think. And we'll just keep going from there. And just take some rest breaks and go from there. So, all right, let's do it. Okay. All right. Just wait a minute. Go on to the next set. All right. Next set, I think I'm just gonna hop back in with 50s. Superset with 45s. So, or 40s actually. Yeah, superset with 40s. And we'll take a longer rest break and go back with the 50s. And then we'll superset from 35 down, I think. So, okay. What's that? Okay. Alright, shake it out a sec. I'm not usually a proponent of swinging on your reps, but you're moving heavy weight. You've gotten 8 good reps in. You need to get those last 2. I'm not against a little bit of this. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and get a good stance and rock that thing up. Absolutely not. I might put a little English on it and get it up there. Do what you gotta do. All right, let's move on to these 45s. Okay. Okay. I should win an award for making the ugliest face while I lift. If you got paid for that, I'd be a millionaire. Okay. So wait a second, and then we'll move into supersetting 40s or 35s, wherever I start. Okay. I'm gonna start with 35s, I think, or I'll start with 40s, so I'll just go ahead and do 35s. I think I'm gonna start with 40s, move down by 5s, not 2.5, because why? So, okay, start with 40s, go into a failure, drop down to 35s, drop down to 30s, just keep cycling that failure. And then we'll be ready for the next movement. So, all right, let's do it. I'm focusing on the supination here. Okay. neck vein is officially out. Next one's mine. Okay, 25. That's one. That's it. That second wind. Oh. Okay. Arms are nice and pumped. Let's rest. Head on to the next movement, which will be some cable curls. Okay, starting. Next movement is some cable curls. Like these, I feel like you keep constant tension on your muscle at all times. So we were just talking about us keeping that full tension, controlling that negative. I think you can go pretty heavy with these too. So I already feel good and warmed up after that large drop set. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and jump over to maybe 65. See how that feels. So let's get started with that. Okay, second set. Got to 65. That's what we want to do. Okay.
Okay, I think we'll call it there. Okay, on the triceps. Camera might die. We're gonna get as much as we can in. Start with, let's just go 80 seconds. One away from the full stack. Down one. Okay. Okay, we'll do one more of those. Two more, actually. All right. All right. I'm gonna go full stack here. Drops at that. Up down to 65. A 30 pound decrease. Okay. One more. Okay. One more set on the skull crushers. Try and get this done before my camera dies. Again. Just gonna go 80 this time. Okay, let's do some skull crushers. Okay, now time for some skull crushers. Not trying to go too heavy. I'm not sure where the bar is. I don't know. You can do that one maybe. Okay. One more. Go to a pump check. Okay. Different camera. Same next set. Let's move this weight. same camera, doing 2 sets to absolute failure. Cut it down. Let's see what this feels. Just a little bit.
Okay, whoever's doing this on 125 is a maniac.
Okay. All right.
Come on, come on.
Okay, one more of those, and then we'll do that pump check, head back to the car. All right, last set. Here we go. Go 150 raw.
Oh, let's go.
Okay, let's get that pump check, call it a night. All right, just like usual, hat is soaked. Let's get a little pump check going. Okay, weight is up approximately 4 or 5 pounds, I think, from when I started the series, so pretty freaktacular arm day. No diddy. Okay, all right, let's wrap it up. Head back to the car. Okay. Ending this Hallows Eve with a spectacular arm day. A spectacular pump. A scaretacular pump, if you will. I think really that those heavy curls really paying off in the long run. I mean, I've noticed considerable size in my biceps since I kind of adapted the strategy of like, oh, you want big muscle? Move big weight, you know? Now, obviously, am I gonna compromise my form to move big weight? Heck no. It's a freaking recipe for disaster, not only in your form, but also, you know, other parts of your body, your back. Your back's gonna pay the price. That's not worth it. And that's not what you want. So I think it really comes down to water bottle. I think it comes down to, you know, okay, you want to move big weight. Can you move big weight with good form? You know, if yes, then do it. Do it safely. If not, drop the weight down, perfect your form, sit with it for 2 months. Sit with it for 2 months. Forget 2 months, do a month and a half. You're gonna get stronger. If your form is perfect, size and strength are gonna follow. That's what Tom Platz says. If your form is perfect, size and strength will follow. So adapt that to not only, Tom Platz's thing, which is squats, apply it to everything, Oh, I'm gonna do curls. Okay, well, my goal is to curl 50s, but I can't do it without swinging, okay? But I can curl 35s, and I can do that for a lot of reps, okay? Jump to 40s, jump to 42 and a half if your gym has, half sizes. Jump to 42 and a half, do something that's going to challenge you, but that's going to make you work. When I curl 50s, I can't do more than 6 reps, but I'm killing myself trying to get to 6 reps. I'm not making the excuse of like, oh, I'm just going to sit with 45. No, I can curl 45s just fine, but 50s, man, that's pushing it. That's hard. So I didn't just jump to 50s. I just sat with lower weight for a while, started working up to it, and then I was like, hey, maybe I can try curling some 50s. And it worked. So I really think sitting with something for, a month and a half with proper form and good technique is really going to, assist you in the long run. I think that drop set came down really well. I think it was just that continued drop set of like, okay, how am I going to respond to this, right? Because if my arms are used to, okay, we're going to do 2 sets of 50s, 1 set of 40s, 1 set of 30s. You got to do what Arnold says, right? Shock the muscle, shock the muscle, shock the muscle. So I'll curl, and drop the weight down because I can't do anymore because I'm at failure. Curl, drop the weight, curl, and so on, so on. Now, there is a point where I stopped. I think I started at 40s, I think. I went down to 25s, going in increments of 5. But that's, let's see, 35, 30, 25, 20. That's 4 sets of curls to failure, which I would say would beat 1 solid set. Just really push it, drop the weight down, and then continue pushing yourself. And then when you're done, take a long rest before moving to your next exercise. Allow your muscles to recover. I went straight into cable curls probably about 4 minutes after. And that's a great way to do things. Now I will say cable curls are seriously solid. I feel like whenever I'll curl it, I'll get to that top, I can really squeeze my biceps really well, control that negative better than I can on a barbell. Now I do love barbell curls, don't get me wrong, but when I feel like whenever I curl a barbell, I don't know, there's just an aspect that I feel like maybe it branches more into my forearms than something else. I don't really know. But cables, man, it's just a straight bar at floor level. Just curl that thing up, just squeeze at the top really hard, let it down real slow. I mean, man, you can't beat that. You cannot beat a good set of cable curls. Only thing I didn't do tonight that I said I was going to do was some incline excuse me, some incline seated dumbbell curls. Oh, I get choked up just thinking about it. I did see some serious mass put on my arms with that when I started doing that, but I've had some issue with my shoulder where I'm getting like some tendonitis or some tennis elbow or something. Not down with that. Not down with that whatsoever. So this weekend, I'll probably go in tomorrow, work forearms, calves, just strictly some accessory work. No shoulders, obviously. And then just strictly work accessories. Get out of there. Don't spend too long. Just do what you gotta do. Get out of there. And then Sunday, take a rest day, ice up. When it comes to recovery, I like to use muscle gel. I think that's a great tool. I like to use that. And then Monday is going
chest day. Let's see, what else did I do tonight? Oh, skull crushers. I think skull crushers with that weird bar. It was like a cambered bar on another level. Like I've never seen a bar be that, like, I don't know the word. It was a deeper divot than I've ever seen in any other bar. But I will say though, just sitting there, ensuring that my forearms are the only thing that moves, right? Because the purpose of your tricep is to straighten your elbow. So when I ensure that I'm not slinging back, I'm just using my forearms instead of, you know, fully slinging back. That's a great way to really target those triceps, man. Like I can feel them contracting, and I'm already a little sore from the other exercises. It's a great way to feel them. Like when I feel that soreness as I move them, I'm like, okay, I'm definitely hitting something right. You know, so that's a huge thing in and of itself. And then also the push downs. I'm kind of off about those solely because, yeah, doing them's great. Like I love them, right? I love doing the push downs, but I feel like whenever you're trying to move them heavy and you're trying to really go to a failure set, I hit more of my lower chest than anything. And maybe that's not true. Maybe if you watch the footage back, or which I haven't done yet, or if I'll see some type of crazy flexion happening in my arms, man, you re-rack that weight and you stand up. Golly, something's in my throat. When you rack that weight and you stand up, I mean, I just felt the sear of just I don't know what the word is, through my lower chest. And there's nothing wrong with that when it's chest day. But when the goal is to hit arms, I don't necessarily want to hit chest. Now, granted, I'm still a little sore from my chest day on Monday, which is weird. I need to probably drink some electrolytes for that. But that probably didn't help anything. So I think now the goal is just to hit accessory work tomorrow. Take the rest of the night off, ice up, rest my elbow, rest my shoulder, whatever's going on there. Use some muscle gel, and then go from there. Like I said, hit accessories tomorrow, and then get out of there, take the weekend off, and come back for chest tomorrow. So that's gonna be the plan.